Joke's on you, Repo Man. I was born without a spine.
Repo the Genetic Opera is the cross we all wanted between the Saw films, Rocky Horror, and your Friday night appointment with Mistress Ass Clamps. It's the kind of film you get when you feel deeply inspired to write a musical by your friend's bankruptcy and foreclosure. And with that, we got the 2002 stage version by writers Darren Smith and Terrance Zdunich. I'm only 60% sure I pronounced that right. The first version of the musical was titled The Necromerchant's Debt before going through more rewrites entitled Repo the Genetic Opera, in between Terrance's double life as Terry from The Last House on Dead End Street. In 2008, we got the film version after a 10-minute short film was used to pitch the movie to different studios. With Darren Lynn Bousman of Saw 2 through 4 directing, the film was distributed by Lionsgate and has an all-star musical cast. We got John Michael Higgins, Paulie Goodfellas, Nicole Richie, William Forsythe, so many names, but so little time to get through all of them. Because this movie has a lot of world building and a lot of story to tell. Oh great, how the hell do you riff something that starts with the phrase, the not too distant future? Finally, a movie that gets it right. You want a good comic book adaptation? Just film the comic book, regardless if it exists in real life. This was intended as the middle part of a planned trilogy. Ooh, quirky. The film tells the story of the year 2056, where organ failures are on the rise, but thank God we have GeneCo, which will supply you the organs you need. And if you can't keep up with the payments, we'll take them from you and use those parts to assemble the 2010 film Repo Man. With all this rock opera-ing, this is the future foretold to us by that Hell's Bells documentary. Look at what evil rock music has inflicted upon the world! See, this is what happens when you take ecstasy and watch Alex Cox's Repo Man. I guess they need to refill their comic book ink. Let's let the grave robber take over.
Out from the night, from the mist, steps the figure. No one really knows his name for sure.
Can't see why this has a cult following.
There's a simple explanation to all of this. Freddy Krueger simply needs organs for his chest souls. This is like if someone finally gave Sardu and Ralphus a budget for their torture show. Oh, and here's the title, just in case you thought you were watching Sweeney Todd. Ha! It's none of those things, sucker! You're watching the Tekken movie! Now take me right away to see President Robert Palmer. This is Roddy, CEO of GeneCo, and diagnosed with a terminal illness, but also diagnosed with a serious dose of rhythm. See, that bullet had feeling. Meanwhile, in the break room for the Hot Topic employees, Alexa Vega has had a long day.
This will be quick.
Well, it didn't take long for me to pause the movie so I could look at the Wikipedia walkthrough. This does not help at all. So I'm just going to assume this all means that Halloween 2020 is not canceled. Okay, so Shiloh is visiting her mom's grave, who may have died of a rare blood disease that Shiloh also has, and a grave robber is siphoning painkillers from dead bodies. I got this.
And it's my job to steal and rob.
Okay, I highly doubt Alexander Hamilton did any of that.
Shiloh's father is Nathan, and don't make bets in your coma if you aren't prepared to lose your hair. Nathan is played by Anthony Stewart Buffy reference. He's an overprotective father. And yeah, this is visually impressive, but what if it were a YA romance and she fell in love with someone who was also struck with the hot disease? Need to know more about Shiloh?
I'm infected.
Yes, I know. Thanks, Wikipedia.
I don't know if she really likes being stuck inside.
I want to go outside.
Excuse me, this is Musical March in September? This should be a lot more stupid.
I don't wanna be stuck up in my room, 'cause there's so much I wanna do. I need to take this.
You never fail us, dancing it's on.
I must say, right away, this is the perfect movie to watch with the glare of the sunlight on your TV. But I can make out that this is now Nathan's story of how he became good old reliable and how much time he really spent in Detroit. Gotta say though, I am not a fan of the changes in this Warriors director's cut. No sir, not at all. But back to Nathan, he regrets selling his house to Disney, who then turned it into the Haunted Mansion. Anthony Stewart Head was hired for the film after the producers were wildly impressed with his singing in the Once Upon a Feeling episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And really, who wants to disappoint the Prime Minister of Little Britain? Nathan misses his wife dearly and is sad he only got a chance to photograph her ghost on her Unsolved Mysteries appearance. Nathan is forced to be a repo man for Gene Corp and is kicking himself for never pitching a Jigsaw rock musical. They came close with that Saw 6 poster. Roddy's kids, meanwhile, are fighting over the future control of Gene Co. Ooh, saucy.
I'm the smartest and the toughest. I will find a hole.
You're gonna get the Sawyer family farm and the will, and that's all you're getting!
It doesn't surprise me that in this universe they only watch the All Rocky Horror All the Time channel. But as for Roddy's story, I picture a cross between John Gotti and a rotting corpse. This graveyard, this frickin' graveyard, this is my frickin' graveyard! It seems Roddy poisoned Nathan's wife for leaving him. Ooh, so much drama. This is the Dark Shadows movie that we should have gotten. He's even luring Shiloh out of the house. I'm sure this is legit.
Sorry to be so thin.
Enough awkward small singing. Can we just have a conversation? So there could be an antidote to Shiloh's disease. Again, not sure if I trust him, as there's literally a record skip. And Dad has a very specific sexual fetish. This is how you get McRibs in the future. If there was a sequel to this, it would be about how this man became the disfigured Surgeon General of Beverly Hills. And now a word from the Paul Verhoeven channel, and then we can continue on with the 2021 episode of Brad Tries the State Fair. Watching the children argue is like watching a Rob Zombie Jerry Springer hybrid.
Who's gonna sing then after you leave?
Sup, 2008? So why let me tell you Blind Mag's story when the movie can?
See? She was blind. Moving on.
She was given eyes by Gene Co., and at this point, I'm just assuming every origin story is a Poison Ivy origin had it been done by Tim Burton. But as for that whole blackmailed into collecting organs thing... Really, it's just that Jason Voorhees went broke and needed a part-time job. Relax, the writer is sneaking in to give her motivations. Take the medication while the others are very mad at Amber for running late due to her 17th red carpet appearance of the day. So let's sing about the drug market.
Drug market, submarket.
I think I'm following this, but it would make a lot more sense to me if they were all dressed as cats. Then I would absolutely feel the rush of these drugs. Amber, daughter of Roddy, is addicted to plastic surgery, and at first the director didn't want to give Paris Hilton an audition, but she came in and not only gave a great audition, but she also became so gung-ho about the project, she contributed wardrobe and saved the production from being halted by making a nightclub appearance and donating her fee to the film. She's honestly not bad in the movie, but it's Paris Hilton, so of course she won a Razzie for it. Clever Razzies, idiots. No time for Razzie bullshit now. Our Uber Eats has arrived. They still exist in the future.
Well, who ordered pizza?
He was up till 3 in the morning coming up with that joke.
The company wants to take Blind Mag's eyes, but that's awkward. She's Nathan's wife's friend, and not even flashing back to when the world was shot on film will convince him. Or removing the organs from the Spencer Gifts manager who was very behind on the monthly store quota. Shoulda sold more blow-up dolls, asshole! All joking aside, I am properly terrified. I can't believe that this is the America that my political opponent wants. Even my organs are shitting themselves.
Therefore, we must take a break and cheer ourselves up with whatever Lloyd has in store for the day.
And now it's time for Lloyd's Tubi TV Best Supporting Actor Oscar consideration of the day. Today's film routines.
Tell the rascal to stop by.
I can't. He's dead because you broke his heart.
And this has been Lloyd's Tubi TV Best Supporting Actor Oscar consideration of the day. Bless you, Tubi TV!
And now that we're back, let's continue on with the story of Repo the Genetic Opera.
How do I put this? I'm your godmom.
Sweet.
Shiloh is told not to talk to strangers, but when every character is a Conjuring Universe villain, does it really matter? It's about time we got the future that was promised to us by Nigma Tech and our god Edward Nigma. Mag had no idea Shiloh was even still alive, and she wants to hide Mag in the house, where really the worst thing that can happen to her is banishment inside of a painting. At least she'd get to keep her spleen. My wish, though, has been granted. We had a musical version of Carrie, and finally we get that musical version of Jennifer. We've got the overprotective father, but when are the snakes gonna come into play? And where's the disco? Also,
This is why you don't invite Dad to your school dance after party.
this is Nathan's solo song, These Damn Kids Today. On the plus side, the skeleton is given way more of an opportunity to do the time warp than he did in Rocky Horror. This must be the cameo song, because holy shit, it's Chrissy Hind! With Joan Jett here, visually, the movie looks the opposite of the term light of day. Be prepared for the twist, though, that Roddy was wearing a toupee this whole time. I feel sorry for Roddy, who is constantly embarrassed by the members of his family.
Oh, she'll still be huge on Instagram. It's fine.
Not only is he disappointed in his children, he's disappointed in me for waiting this long to make a House of Capulet reference. Although he has made his decision, he's gonna leave everything in his will to Ana de Armas. This will lead to a solid mystery after giving Shiloh the cure.
So Roddy thinks he can take Shiloh.
The cure for having the world's least discreet dad.
We must be headed towards the climax because there is an opera going on tonight. Really? Isn't it opera night every night in this city? So what opera is it that they're putting on?
The Taken musical. Anthony Stewart Head is a badass musical Liam Neeson.
He's got to rescue his daughter before she is forced to marry Beetlejuice on stage. But now a word from the writer.
Bloodbath. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Spoiler, I haven't seen this opera yet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is the opera? This is a pretty big build-up for what's a Susan Boyle performance. If this were a more mainstream film, they would have found some way to sneak in a cover for Smells Like Teen Spirit. Instead, we get the best Paris Hilton concert ever.
Whatever, this makes her the best SNL host.
And when one performer's face falls off, just move on to the next, like Dark Satine.
Pretty impressive, but needs a little punching up.
Blind.
Okay, Sarah Brightman, we got a few Tonys lined up for you. Just stick the landing. There you go, dying for your art. That gets you all the Tonys.
If you like that, folks, stay tuned. Bernadette Peters and Bebe Neuwirth are gonna throw chainsaws at each other for 90 minutes.
All has been promised to be revealed. Shiloh finds out her dad is the Repo Man. She should have been following the Wikipedia synopsis like me. Not only does she not have a rare blood disease, but she was given medicine by her dad that makes her ill. See, I told you, all you gotta do is make this a lame-ass YA romance and it'll be in more theaters. There's plenty of other reveals too, and lots of singing exposition, but in fairness, She was singing, "Somebody tell me what's going on," several times. You may think it's weird the audience isn't really doing anything about this, but really, this is the least bloody opera the city's had in years. I'd be on the edge of my seat too. Roddy says that she must kill her dad to get that Gene Co inheritance. The audience is really into this.
Kill him!
Oh sure, but when I did this at opening night of Fault in Our Stars, I got shushed. These are pros. They're going completely off script. He was supposed to shoot him in the liver. This is the first opera to be reviewed in the police beat section. The review of the opera in the city paper mainly called the climax melodramatic, and the 2056 Razzies gave an award to Amber. What the hell? Why? Shiloh gives a very sad and heartfelt goodbye to her dad, but of course one cynical audience member just goes, meh. Now she's free to go off into the world, but who's gonna take over Gene Co? I was promised a spine by next week. Luckily, in the epilogue, the grave robber explains who wore it best at the opera, and that Gene Co was left without an heir. But if you stay during the credits, Amber Sweet is taken over by auditioning her face to Charity, again saving the opera from going over budget. Well, that was an experience, and they said the goth kids couldn't give us a spin on Blade Runner and Free Jack. The movie was not a hit in theaters, nor with critics, and such little promotion was put into it that the cast and crew did their own roadshow of the film. None of that is really surprising since the movie looks tailor-made to be something that would bomb but gain a cult following. And that's exactly what happened, because there is a huge devoted following to this film, deservedly so. Even I didn't care much for the film in 2008, but obviously I just needed to watch it with that glare. Now I love it! This is a very passionate horror musical with so much love for opera, horror, spectacle, and has more imagination put into the sets, costuming, characters, and the entire universe in just one single frame than any of the live-action Disney remake musicals had in their entire running times combined. While the creators have been wanting to do a sequel, the rights for them to do so fell out of their control, but director Bousman and writer Zdunich did collaborate again on the 2012 horror musical, The Devil's Carnival.
Now that I have properly had my spine delivered, I can finish off this can of Billy beer. No need to take it back, Repo Man. I'll be dead!
You break my friggin' heart!